Hello once again, my dear fellow groaners. You with me again for episode 42 of the Groan Zone, where we're going to jump in together in this one. Straight down the rabbit hole we go. Bit different this week though, as we are going audience groan first, for a change. And this week's comes from Darleen H of Dublin, who sent her groan in via WhatsApp. I believe she was one of the first WhatsApp groaners, I think. So, thanks Darleen. And she groans, people whose handwriting is worse than my 3-year-old son's. Guilty as charged. Yup, I fit in here as my handwriting absolutely sucks. Thanks school for stuffing my handwriting up completely. However, if you're to groan in like Darleen did, or send in your hero or zero of the week nomination, or an Ohhh Unlucky, or well that's creepy story, you can do so in a number of ways. Here they come. Via Discord under the Groan Zone podcast, via Facebook groups under the Groan Zone podcast, fire off an email to thegroanzonepod@gmail.com, via Facebook Messenger under Mystery Groaner, and last but not least, via WhatsApp on +44 750375 1359. That number again, +44 750 375 1359. I will memorize it at some point. However, when you message in, do tell me your name. It's not part of a group, you're just messaging me. Tell me your first name, you don't need to tell me your last name or even your last initial. Just your first name and where you're from. And then once I've had you groan, I'll delete your message. That way your privacy remains private. And also don't forget, on any of the ones I've just mentioned, you can also give your feedback on the show straight in. However, enough groaning for now, let's swerve a curveball into our first game of this week's episode. Our first game is of course the old faithful Yes or BS. Anyone playing along live, are you ready to play Yes or BS? Yep, they've confirmed ready. If you're playing along after the pod, anytime after each round, just pause, have a think, which one's true, which one's false. Oh my god, pick. Right, here we go. Round 1. The Podest? Great start. Fabulous. I'm leaving that one in. Great verbal faux pas. Round 1. The Possessed Potato Mouse round. Option A. Potatoes were the first vegetable to be grown in space. Option B. Mighty Mouse was originally supposed to be a friend of Mickey Mouse. And option C. Linda Blair actually believed she was possessed during the filming of The Exorcist. This is where you pause this long after it's been recorded and you have a think. Oh, audience members straight in for C there. Okay, couple more for B, and A's got 1. Someone felt sympathetic for A. Okay, any more? Time's running short. Okay, moving on, we're dropping now into round 2, the oldest oxygen states round. Option A. Rockabilly was music originally played by people who lived in the southern United States only. Option B. The world's oldest photograph was taken in France and was the view from someone's window. And lastly, option C. Cabbages can actually survive without oxygen. Heads are scratching here. Someone's popped in for B. A large number going for C. And no one's gone for A. Okay. Any more? Buzzer's gonna sound. No more. Round number 3. Here we go. Option A. Sloths often mistake, or sloths, however you want to pronounce it, often mistake their own arms for tree branches. Option B. A howler monkey's body is longer than its tail. And option C. There were no tomatoes native to Italy until the 16th century. Audience are scratching their heads here. Oh, they're thinking. They're thinking hard. C's been thrown up there. A couple of people followed suit. Hey, no copy unless you really know. Come on. That your real answer? Okay, I'll let you off. Okay, that's okay. You've gone for option C. Everyone's gone for option C. Okay. Right then, since that was the last round, we'll see who scored points or who got blanked at the end of the show. However, now it is time for Ohhh Unlucky. And this week's, it's just the entire situation. So there was some suspect on the run from police in Texas, and he was wearing a bright orange like jumpsuit shirt thing, and he decided with his infinite powers of stupidity to hide in a field of pure white flowers. Now obviously the cops found him easily and more or less straight away. I believe someone said it was a Where's Wally or Where's Waldo moment. Unlucky, buddy. Unlucky. Better luck next time. Better luck next time. But anyway, we've played a game. We've had the audience groan. Now it is my turn. And however, I get 3 chances to groan here. Groan number 1. When working as part of a team to do one task, aka at summer camp or whatever situation you're in, and someone refuses to either take part or join in. Why did you bother coming in the first place? If you're not going to contribute, what's the point? I mean, why are you here? Why? Ask yourself that question. Groan number 2. At a previous job, all that one of my colleagues did was sit on the phone, not even making work-related calls. And she got away with this. And my groan is more or less when people get away with this type of behaviour because they're friends with somebody higher up. And of course, double standards rules out. Everyone else gets treated differently, and yet one person gets away with it because of who they know. All treated fairly or not at all. Groan number 3. When people keep repeating the same stories about things. Now even I've been guilty of this. Get some new material, get some new stories, and just stop repeating the same thing. That goes double for myself. But once again, that's another 3 groans set free for another week. Yep, there they go, straight over the moon there. They're away. And now we're going to dance over to Well That's Creepy. This one, hoo-wee! I'd rather not be in these people's shoes, I tell you that. Hank the Tank, the bear behind 21 home invasions, has been captured near Lake Tahoe. Let's just get this straight here. A bear, or bears, I don't know if it's just loads of bears given the name of Hank the Tank, male or female, were breaking into people's houses. Now think about that. You're in your home, or you're not in your home, a black bear gets into your house, with you there or with you not there. Process that. You'll come to the same conclusion? Yeah, another one. Conclusion as me. Well, that's creepy. Creepy. Bears. Your home is the woods, not a bloody house. Stay in the woods. Now then, with that being said, got a bit dramatic there at the end. That being said, let's hit up our second game of the show. Yep, it is time for Gimme the Question. Round number 1, people. Your answer is Event Horizon. Your question, or questions I should say, are the following. Option A. Ooh. Oh, someone's commented on the bear story. I think it was the same bear. I read differently when I read the story. And apparently it was even a female bear being named Hank the Tank. So I think it was a succession of bears. So it was a gang break-in of bears just raiding houses. Although I think one bear did have a record of like loads of home invasions. I honestly don't know. But I'd rather not have a bear in my house. I'm not Goldilocks. But anyway, we'll go back to... I'll start again. We'll go back to Give Me the Question. Round 1. Your answer is Event Horizon. Your questions are the following. Option A. What is the scientific name for a sunset? Option B. What film is a sci-fi horror movie starring Sam Neill? And lastly, option C. What is the name for a black hole colliding with a planet? Someone's thrown up an A there. Any more? Ooh, couple of B's. And a C there. Okay. If you're playing along live, pause previously, have a think, and unpause and throw your answer in. Any more? All in? Nope, we're done. Moving on to round 2. Your answer is Morgan Freeman. Your questions are: who was the voice of the King Ant in the movie Ants? Option B, who played the lead bad guy in the film Oblivion? And option C, who played the lead bad guy in the movie Wanted? A lot of people throwing A's out in this round. Everything. Is there something special about A that I don't know? Okay. Oh, and a C there and a B. Okay. At least B and C weren't missed out completely there. Moving on. Round 3. Your answer is Philadelphia. Your questions are: which city, sorry, option A I should say, option A, which city do Rocky 1 to 3 take place in? Option B, what 1992 film was about the murder of a private detective told via monologue? And option C, which city has many twin cities all over the world? Oh, someone's thrown a C straight in there. A couple of B's coming. And someone's also thrown an A. Okay. Were you right? Were you wrong? You'll find out later after Zero of the Week. Speaking of Zero of the Week, here it is. This week's Zero of the Week is going to be brief. Some utter numpty out there felt it'd be their duty, or some power they've got, to steal dummies out of babies' mouths. Now, how low as a human do you need to be to do this? I mean, for God's sake, check your head out, lad. You complete zero. What do you need dummies for? Are you going to run a shop on eBay? Come on, don't be a zero. Don't take the dummies. You don't need them. You're a full-blown adult. Come on. But now, it's that time in the podcast. We're moving on to the game answers. First off, anagram anxiety. As far as I'm aware, no one got it. Even I didn't get it. And I'm hopeless at this game. Hopeless. Even with the clue that my admin gives. Hopeless. So the answer to this week's anagram anxiety was Oath of the Horati. Or Horati, Horatai, however you pronounce it. Next week's, or should I say this week's, will be coming when this episode is published live and gone out there. Now we move on to the yes or BS answers. Here we go. Round 1. The possessed potato mouse round. If you picked option A, potatoes were the first vegetable to be grown in space, you're absolutely right. But I believe they were grown in a spacecraft, not just yelped out into space and grown in the vast confines of space. If you picked option B, Mighty Mouse was originally supposed to be a friend of Mickey Mouse, you'd be wrong. As far as I'm aware, they were animated by 2 different companies and are owned by 2 different properties. Therefore, they'll never be friends. And option C, as far as I'm aware, Linda Blair did not believe she was being possessed on the set of The Exorcist because I just made it up. If it is a real fact, my apologies, but I just made it up completely off my own head. That means whoever picked B or C, you have nil point. Round 2. The oldest oxygen states round. If you picked option A, rockabilly was music originally played by people who lived in the southern USA states, you'd be wrong. It's false. I made that up. Option B. If you picked this one, the world's oldest photograph was taken in France and was the view from someone's window. 100% correct. It was called Window and Le Gras, or Le Gras, however you pronounce it. I'm sorry, French people. I haven't done French in years. And it was taken in 1826 or 1827. They're a bit spotty on which year it was. And option C. If you picked this one, cabbages can actually survive without oxygen, you'd be wrong. No plant can survive without oxygen. If you contradict me on that one, I just looked the fact up and that's what I got. I'm just a messenger. Don't shoot me. And the last round. If you picked option A, sloths often mistake their own arms for tree branches, this is actually correct. And however, unfortunately, bless them, this also leads to huge falls and a lot of sloth deaths. They may move slow, but they fall quick. If you picked option B, a howler monkey's body is longer than its tail, you'd be wrong. Spin it around, its tail is actually 5 times longer than its body. And the last one, if you pick this one, there were no tomatoes native to Italy until the 16th century. This is actually true. Tomatoes originally came from America and they didn't reach Italy until the 16th century. So there you go. There was no pasta sauce in Italy until the 16th century. And now, we've had the answers for yes or BS. We're now moving on to Gimme the Question. Your answer for the first round was Event Horizon. The correct answer was, what film is a science fiction horror movie starring Sam Neill? Correct, and it's a really scary movie. There are parts of that film I cannot even watch, and I put them on fast forward on a DVD. I will not watch certain parts of that movie. No. Also stars Sean Pertwee and Lawrence Fishburne. And I believe 1997 is when it came out. Moving on, round 2. Your answer for this round was Morgan Freeman. The correct question was, who played the lead bad guy in the movie Wanted? And however, he did have a movie part in Oblivion, but he didn't play a bad guy. He played a sort of protagonist and antagonist at the same time. Moving on, we're jumping to the last round. Your question was Philadelphia. The correct question was, which city do Rocky 1 to 3 take place in? Any Rocky fans out there, you know that straight away. There's a statue of Rocky in Philadelphia, in America, that's why. But I hope that a lot of you got points there. I am sorry if anyone got blanked in yes or BS, but of course, just because you got blanked in yes or BS, it doesn't mean you're going to get blanked for Gimme the Question, because they're 2 separate games. I'm not that harsh. And thanks for tuning in, my dear Groan crew. But don't forget, have a Groanathon, as the number of episodes keeps growing and growing and growing. By the time this episode is up, the next anagram will be released on Discord and on the Facebook group, as I said before. You take care out there, keep groaning, stay safe, and stay you. Take care. Bye.